Imagine owning land, but land with no soil, no physical borders, where growth feels, well, almost limitless. And you could potentially make serious money just buying, selling, maybe even renting out these digital plots.
Yeah, it sounds pretty futuristic, doesn't it? Almost sci-fi. But that's exactly what seems to be happening in this emerging world of virtual real estate. We're seeing the rise of the digital landlord.
Okay, let's dive into this then. We're going to unpack the source material you sent over, these really interesting excerpts looking at this whole phenomenon head on. It definitely feels strange, maybe, but according to this material, it's becoming well, a legitimate way people are trying to generate income.
That's right. The basic idea presented in these sources, it frames the metaverse as a kind of 3D internet, persistent, shared. And inside these digital worlds, you have land, parcels, and ownership of these unique plots, often tracked using NFTs.
Right, NFTs, non-fungible tokens. So they're like a digital deed, basically, proving you own that specific bit of virtual land. And the sources point to platforms like Decentraland and The Sandbox as key places where this happens.
Exactly. Those are some of the big ones mentioned. What's really striking in the material is how fast these sort of digital economies seem to be developing. You're seeing income streams that look a lot like physical real estate renting, flipping, but the fundamentals are totally different. And maybe lower entry costs, potentially.
Okay, so based on these sources, today we're digging into what this virtual land actually is, how people are using it, like beyond just speculation, and crucially the ways they're apparently making real money.
Absolutely. So you mentioned speculation, just buying low, hoping to sell high later. That's there, like digital property flipping. But the sources detail more active ways people are trying to monetize.
Okay, so flipping's one. What else? What's another big method the sources highlight?
Renting seems to be significant. Renting out digital land, often to brands or businesses. Think of it like renting space for a virtual shop or maybe a big digital billboard. Companies want visibility in these new spaces.
Huh. So they'll pay digital landowners for good spots, prime locations online.
That's what the material suggests, yeah. For virtual storefronts, maybe advertising space. Companies want to be where the audience is migrating.
Interesting. Digital advertising revenue, virtual retail rent, on land you own online. Do the sources say which kinds of brands are getting involved? Is it niche?
It sounds like it's becoming more widespread. The readings mention things like fashion brands building virtual stores, entertainment companies creating experiences. It's about reaching people in new, maybe more immersive ways.
Okay, so flipping, renting. You also mentioned doing something with the land, building on it, like you would in the physical world.
Yes, exactly. That's the whole developing experiences angle, and it's a major income stream described in the sources. People are building all sorts of things. Virtual art galleries, mini games, private clubs, even concert venues.
And the money comes from charging entry.
That's one way, yeah. The sources talk about different models, charging access fees for, premium events or experiences, or selling digital items, collectibles, maybe inside your space, hosting virtual parties, selling tickets, even selling ad space within your own built experience.
Wow. Okay. So it's not just owning the plot, but what you create on it that can generate revenue. And the sources make it sound reasonably accessible. Not just for, expert programmers.
That's a key point the material brings up. I mean, sure, complex stuff needs expertise. But some platforms offer simpler tools, drag-and-drop interfaces. Plus, there's a whole market emerging, apparently, for digital architects and designers you can hire, so it lowers the barrier compared to, say, building a physical building.
It really does sound like a new kind of potential passive income stream, like the sources suggest, because you're not tied to a physical place, just your, digital creativity.
But it's really important we mention the risks. The sources are clear on this, too. This market is still incredibly volatile. Prices can be highly speculative, driven by hype cycles.
Right, and regulation.
Regulation is still playing catch-up. It's very much an uncertain landscape legally.
Definitely feels like a bit of a Wild West scenario. But I guess the potential upside, according to the sources, is what's drawing people in.
It certainly challenges our whole idea of what real estate even means, doesn't it?
It really does. Okay, so here's something to think about, drawing from this deep dive into the sources. The next time you think about real estate, maybe as an investment or a source of income, don't just look at the physical world, the bricks and mortar. You might need to look online, too. Because, according to this material, the next millionaire landlord, they might not own skyscrapers, but maybe a really impressive pixelated palace in the metaverse.